Patrick Spencer.
Thank you very much. Speaker, it is wonderful to see you in your place, and can I pay credit to the member for North Cornwall for securing this debate. I come to this debate today representing a predominantly rural constituency with low crime rates. Now, those low crime rates have been built up by focusing on three things: increasing police numbers, effective police strategies, and a strong local economy that has seen the age-old problem of poverty driving crime rates minimised. So can I start by paying tribute to my Police and Crime Commissioner, Tim Passmore, and the hard-working people serving Suffolk Constabulary. But this positive headline negates two fundamental realities. It does not portray the changing nature of crime across Suffolk and other rural areas. Specifically, the proliferation of crime in our agricultural sector and on farms, fly tipping, something that was raised by the Honourable Member earlier, poaching, damaging heritage and historical sites, at logistics hubs and warehouses, and, awfully, hidden crime such as sexual exploitation and domestic violence have tragically become all too prevalent in rural communities. Now, secondly, the positive headlines also ignore the fact that Suffolk Constabulary have to police both a very rural countryside with low population density over a large geographic area, as well as urban crime in Ipswich. And that ability to cover very different environments and very different types of crime presents huge challenges to many rural police forces, whether they be in North Cornwall, Suffolk, Essex, Hampshire, wherever. We've already heard that the Countryside Alliance Rural Survey estimates more than a third of people living in rural communities experience rural crime every year. And as the Honourable Member from North Cornwall said, the NFU estimate that the cost of rural crime increased by nearly 5% last year to £52.8 million. The situation facing rural police forces is indeed tough. So in the short time I have here, can I ask the Minister to comment or give me a steer on this government's intent on the following? Earlier this week, I had the opportunity to take part in Home Office oral questions, and I took the opportunity to raise the long-term problem, and it is long-term. I accept that. I accept that the previous government did not do nearly enough to tackle the confusing nature of our funding formula. But I wanted to ask if the long-term problem of looking at the funding formula for rural constabularies. Rural constabularies, as I said on Monday, consistently receive less money than urban ones. Will the Minister agree to publish the formula, publish the methodology, and launch a consultation on reforming it so we can move on and away from this iniquity? Secondly, on the National Rural Crime Unit. Now, the NRCU was set up by the last government, and it has made great strides, along with the Equipment Theft Prevention Act that my honourable friend from mid-Buckingham has been epic in his pursuit for. But the NRCU however, the NRCU has a very limited mandate. Could it not expand to tackling other forms of crime that we know proliferate in rural areas, such as fly tipping, such as organised crime, such as rural DV? Because at the moment, it is, I'm afraid to say, somewhat limited in its pursuit of crime around equipment theft, GPS theft, and other things that are specific to perhaps agriculture and farming. Expanding its remit, and with extra funding, it could support rural police forces with intelligence on tackling problem areas. Finally, and I'd like to ask the Minister this: what steps is this government taking to invest in technology that will help deter and tackle rural crime? Yes, police forces do need cars and coppers, some of the things the Honourable Member from North Cornwall mentioned earlier around public faith in our police to turn up and tackle crime. Just over recess, my next-door neighbour was broken into. Did the police turn up? No, they didn't. It was deeply disappointing. Yes, we need cars and coppers, but we also need drones that can react 10 times quickly to theft on a farm. They need AI tools, monitoring CCTV, that are able to pick up potential targets and suspects. Technology may be expensive up front, but the savings in the long term will be substantial. Rural crime is not just about farms and tractors. It has a real impact on people, lives and livelihoods, and it is too often underestimated here in Westminster. Thank you very much.